Look. Now, I don't know how you classify a sex addict unless they're on record of saying that they have sex all the time. Who's the sex addict basketball player? Wilt Chamberlain. No, Wilt Chamberlain's who I'm talking about. Hey, that's really the only sex addict I know. Sleeping with 20,000 different women. Allegedly. I mean, I feel like that's got to be a lie. Chat, if we do the math, 20,000 divided by 365. That's 54 women a day. Like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, bruh. Unless that nigga was having the craziest parties that have ever existed, man. That nigga's a liar.
Here's the weirdest sex lives of some of the most popular historical figures. Number 10, James Joyce. Now,
who the fuck is James Joyce?
If you don't know who James Joyce is, he's regarded as one of the most influential and important writers of the 28th century.
Okay, wait. I know. Already paused 13 seconds in. Imagine the research that got to go into figuring out who the weirdest popular people are, bro. Search history's cooked.
He made the book Ulysses, also considered to be the hardest book to read in the English language, but as great as his literature was, he used that same talent to write a note to his wife about the weirdest activities his wife and him did in the bedroom. Sit back and relax as I read you this elegant, sophisticated
let's go!
Towards his wife. I felt your fat, sweaty buttocks. Okay, we're starting off strong here. Let me start again. I felt your fat, sweaty buttocks under my belly and saw your flushed face and mad eyes. At every bleep, I gave you your shameless tongue came bursting out through your lips, and if I gave you a bigger, stronger bleep than usual, fat, dirty farts came spluttering out of your backside. You had an arse full of farts that night, darling, and I bleeped them out of you. Big fat fellows, long windy ones, quick little merry cracks, and little naughty farties ending in a long gush from your hole. It is wonderful to bleep a farting woman when every bleep drives one out of... Number 9, Herod the Great.
Real talk. Imagine being the wife and getting that message, bro. Imagine being a wife and that nigga wrote his heart out, okay? That nigga was real passionate about the note and that's what he wrote. That's disgusting.
Great. We all know Herod, yes? The famous king in the Bible who tried to execute Jesus Christ after learning about his birth. In his time, Herod used to be a great king of Judea and was responsible for building large projects like fortresses such as Herodium and Masada, including the remodeling of the Jerusalem temple. Besides the great things he did, his evil was quite unmatchable to a point that Satan would even lose the trophy to him. While the Holy Book gives very little details about him, this king's story would make you want to puke. Even his first biographer, the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, struggled to evaluate the inconsistencies between Herod's benevolence and his brutality. One that comes out to be more surprising to date is how he managed to be sleeping with his wife's corpse. For those of you who don't know her, Mariamne was the second wife of Herod the Great. Their relationship was quite complicated, especially when the king started killing most of Mariamne's relatives out of jealousy. Do you know that Herod also gave out orders for Mariamne's execution as soon as he died? His reason, so that Mariamne wouldn't remarry. After learning much about her.
Oh, that nigga's just like me. Hey! That nigga's just like me! Hey, when I die, you can't remarry. You're locked in. I'm playing. That's crazy. Real talk, that's crazy, bro. So you would fuck a corpse? No, I was talking, nigga, not the corpse part. Why the hell are you talking about the corpse part? Why would I say that?
For adulterous behavior, Herod finally killed Mariamne,
what is that,
preserving her body in honey for several years. And something even more barbaric, he went ahead to have sex with her body till his downfall. Perhaps he could be the founding father of the term honey, the sweetest name you call that you're a girlfriend with. Number 8, Caligula.
That nigga is a different type of fucked up. Ew! Ew! Why I walk in on you watching this? I don't even got an excuse. Hey, I dead don't even got an excuse, bro. That shit probably dry as hell. Oh, hell no. Nigga, why are you thinking about what it would be like? Niggas like, yeah, but why would you do that? It's probably dry. Like, why would you? It's probably dry. I mean, like, statistically, you would have to, I mean, it would be a lot more work than it's worth. I would rather just be like, come on, bro. Jeez!
He was one notorious Roman emperor who's remembered for his depraved and twisted behavior in bed. His perverse appetite for sex was quite unmatchable to the extent that he turned his sexual organ to a dildo for women during those days. Caligula even formed incestuous relationships with his sisters, forcing married women to participate in orgies, and even claiming to have had intimate relationships with his horse, which he appointed as a consul. Caligula's desires were not only bizarre, but also sadistic, and he took pleasure in humiliating and torturing his victim during his escapades.
Why did I just think this was gonna be like nerds that was actually freaks? What you mean you fucked a horse and you like making like humiliating people? And this is crazy, bro. This is disgusting.
His obsession with power was often expressed through his intimate behavior, which he used to exert dominance and control over others. Despite his shocking and repugnant behavior, Caligula's reign was short-lived, lasting only 4 years. His tyrannical rule and unstable behavior eventually led to his assassination by his guards.
Yes!
His legacy continues to fascinate and disgust people to this day, serving as a reminder of the dark and twisted nature of human desire and power.
Fascinated with that shit?
Number 7, Emperor Nero. Ultimately, he would be ranked as the only man in this list, and even beyond, with the highest libido ever.
What's libido?
He was one of the most flamboyant and controversial leaders
of this nigga's gay!
ancient Rome. Nero indulged in lavish extravagance, corruption, and unrestrained sexuality. Nero was known for his sexual promiscuity and engaged in both homosexual and heterosexual relationships. He even went so far as to marry a young boy named Sporus in a public ceremony after castrating him and treating him as a wife. His behaviors were often seen as a threat to the stability of the empire, leading to rebellion and political turmoil. Despite his reputation as a tyrant, some historians argue that he was misunderstood and unfairly malaligned.
Misunderstood? I beg your finest pardon? He just castrated a boy, married him, and made him his wife.
Before we continue with the video, this video is sponsored by Vaseline.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, a video like this would never be sponsored by Vaseline. Okay, on the side, away from this video, make sure y'all go to www.vaseline.com/st1zy_1 for 50% off $100 or more.
However, his unchecked power and manipulation of political systems ultimately led to his downfall. Nero was forced to flee Rome and later decided to commit suicide, which brought an end to the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Number 6, Marquis de Sade. He is a famous author. This guy was ridiculous, and he's the sole reason the word sadism exists, as he gave rise to it.
Is sadism the one that's like a bunch of hitting and shit? I don't know, guys. I don't know about all this type of shit. It's kind of weird to me. Is that where you like pain, or is that like where you like inflicting pain? I know it's one of them.
Do you guys understand the meaning of sadism?
No.
For those who don't know, don't worry, because it's just a pretty simple term that I'm sure you will leave this place reminiscing it in your thoughts of how cruel this man was. It's actually the tendency to derive pleasure, especially sexual gratification, from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others. Drawing huge inspirations from 120 Days of Sodom, Philosophy in the Bedroom, The Crimes of Love, and Letters from Prison, Marquis de Sade was another hell of a man. During his lifetime, Sade was found guilty of sodomy, rape, torturing the 36-year-old beggar woman Rose Keller, imprisoning 6 children in his chateau at Lacoste, and poisoning 5 prostitutes with the aphrodisiac Spanish fly. Despite all these allegations against him, the man was able to avoid death sentence but still spent 32 years in prisons and insane asylums, partly due to the intervention of his family members who kept him locked up to avoid disgrace. He later came back to the limelight, only to find most of his work seized, destroyed, and banned under the Napoleon Bonaparte era.
Good.
Number 5. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Imagine walking at night, turning your head down a dark alley, only to see a guy with his ass tooted up hoping for a smacking. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was born on
this
20th
nigga a
of June
freak!
1712 in Geneva to a watchmaker named Isaac Rousseau and a woman named Suzanne, who died of puerperal fever days after his birth. Like a curse to his mother, he had developed a fetish desire to have people's hands grab his ass. It was something natural to him, like a cat wanting to be rubbed down its head. Too shy to approach a visitor.
Oh, that's insane, bro. All he really need to do is get on that basketball court. He gonna have a lot of niggas slapping his butt. Real talk. He gotta play sports. That nigga sold. Hey, he could have got his ass. He could have got his ass smacked and made a lot of money. This little visual that I'm getting right here is insane. Nigga bent over, smiling, like grab that shit. Yeah, I don't know.
For the rubbing, John had gotten too shy of women to a point he even confessed it. He says,
What?
and I will quote, "To lie at the feet of an imperious mistress, to obey her commands, to ask her forgiveness. This was for me a sweet enjoyment. And the more lively imagination heated my blood, the more I presented the appearance of a bashful lover."
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Niggas have always been weird? Bro, I deadass thought this was an internet shit. Bro, niggas have always liked getting stepped on, spat on, and bossed around by women? I deadass thought this was internet shit. Bro, niggas have always been cooked?
Bro was writing poetry with his ass tooted up, smiley face.
And not only that, Jean would try to fulfill his sexual desires of being spanked in a most cunning and extravagant way. He would often expose himself to women in hopes that they would discover him, like a portrait.
What?
He would often parade his ass towards them just to get it spanked. It was one uncouth act that lived with him throughout
hell
his life
no!
till when he met his death in 2nd of July, 1778. Number 4. King Charles II of Spain. Also known as El Hechizado or the
Damn, we
Bewitched,
gotta
was
shit
a
on him,
monarch
bro.
who suffered from numerous physical and mental health issues. His health problems were widely attributed to his parents' incestuous relationship, which produced several children with serious health problems.
Yuck.
Despite his poor health and infertility, Charles married twice and was known to engage in
Wait, hold
intimate
up.
relationships with various women throughout his life.
Okay. Chat, what happens, okay, let's say there's incest in a family. What if the incest stops and they stop having incest? Do they still got all the problems that the other loser ass, the weird ass niggas got? Or does the problems fade away with time?
One of the most scandalous
Remind me.
aspects of Charles's intimate life was his pursuit of his niece, Maria Barbara.
Ew.
Charles was said to have infatuated with her and openly
That's
pursued her
disgusting.
even though she was already married to his nephew. This relationship caused great scandal and was widely condemned, even in a society where marriages between close relatives were not uncommon. In addition to his relationship to Maria Barbara, Charles was also known to have had affairs with other women, including a dwarf. This relationship was particularly controversial as dwarfs at that time were seen as subjects of amusement or ridicule rather than as romantic partners. Despite his many sexual liaisons, Charles was unable to produce an heir, and his reign was marked by political instability and decline. His health continued to deteriorate, and he died at the age of 38, leaving no legitimate children to succeed him. The strange and scandalous aspects of Charles's personal life have made him a fascinating figure in history and continue to capture people's imagination even today. Number 3.
Why the fuck does this nigga keep saying managed to capture their imagination even today? Who the fuck is worried? Like who? Deadass, who wants to be like this nigga? Who imagining this shit?
Albert Einstein. If
What?
you think your hubby has a big problem when it comes to staying faithful, wait till you hear about Albert Einstein.
This nigga was.
He was a much bigger problem to his wife
This
than you
nigga
might
was a
think.
whore.
Yeah, known to be one of the greatest scientists to ever grace the world, Albert Einstein was a different story when it came to marital affairs. He was kind of a playboy, dancing around the seduction game with much creativity, ending up sleeping with more than 10 women in his lifetime. When Einstein
Wait, more than how many?
much creativity, ending up sleeping with more than 10 women in his lifetime.
Okay.
When Einstein married his first wife, he told her frankly, "Accept neither intimacy nor fidelity." And despite saying these words, he still went ahead to cheat on both his wives with at least 10 different women. Now, here's the most interesting bit. When he married his cousin Elsa, his first cousin on his mother's side, he went ahead to defend his behavior after sleeping with her younger sister in a letter, and he noted, "You can't blame me, we were young and she was willing." Again, in another
You mean to tell me that this nigga Albert Einstein was out there making the most insane math problems, figuring out all types of physics, learning about astrology, all types of shit, and then he does that? This is actually a big stain, bro. Albert had high testosterone, I guess, bro. I guess.
Instance, he goes on to elaborate on his disbelief about monogamy. He wrote, "I'm sure you know that most men, as well as quite a number of women, are not monogamously endowed by nature. Further, he states, nature will come through even stronger if convention and circumstances are putting resistances in the way of an individual."
What?
Above all this, we will always live to remember Einstein for his remarkable contribution to atomic theory and electromagnetic wave theory. Number 2, Christian Andersen. Andersen was a Danish...
I'm not gonna lie, that nigga kind of ulted with that. That nigga kind of ulted. He said, it's not me, it's the way in nature. Who am I? Hold up. This nigga said it's not me. Who am I to grapple and fight against the powers of my nature? Damn, he ulted, bro. What do you even say to that? G fucking G's.
Author who's known for the famous ugly duckling. Besides that, he was believed to be a virgin throughout his life and was scared to have sex, believing that it would infatuate his God-given gift in literacy skills. Even though on 4 occasions in his later years he visited brothels, each time only talking with a naked prostitute and then fleeing in religious guilt. One thing that he finally came to confess in his diaries is how he did have sexual urges, and even in 1834 he recorded, "My blood is churning, huge sensuality and struggle with myself. If it really is a sin to satisfy this powerful urge, then let me fight it. I'm still innocent, but my blood is burning." In other instances, he would often masturbate and write about it in his diary. He would talk to prostitutes and masturbate.
Yo!
Till his death in 1875, Andersen never slept with anyone and remained like that, believing that doing so would only but mark the end of his literacy gift. Number 1, Mahatma Gandhi.
You are not about to tell me that this peaceful ass, that this what's it called, Nobel Prize winning ass nigga was freaky. You're not about to tell me that. This nigga is not freaky. You're not. Hey, not my Gandhi. My Gandhi wasn't out here eating ass. My Gandhi wasn't eating ass. Say it ain't so, bruh. Say it ain't so.
Well, while some of you might think celibacy is a hard journey, then I bet you're right. Mahatma Gandhi just confirmed it. And maybe that's why he's topping my list today. It's no secret that this legend is one of the founding fathers of India and was highly viewed as spiritual and more of a wise man. If you're Indian, you can confirm that in the comment section below. This man of the people also is believed to have some truces too, especially one that shocked the whole world when he was accused of being guilty of involving himself sexually with his grandnieces. It is said that he often used them as a replacement for his walking stick in the morning and then slept with them naked at night. Gandhi thought that it was necessary to conduct this so-called experiment in celibacy in order to achieve higher levels of spirituality. After getting accused of being immoral, Gandhi wrote a letter to Vallabhbhai Patel and said, "For me, Manu sleeping with me is a matter of dharma, moral duty." Gandhi conduct this so-called slept with them naked. It is said that he often used them as a replacement for his walking stick in the morning and then slept with them naked at night. Gandhi thought that it was necessary to conduct this so-called experiment in celibacy in order to achieve higher levels of spirituality. After getting accused of being immoral, Gandhi wrote a letter to Vallabhbhai Patel and said, "For me, Manu sleeping with me is a matter of dharma, moral duty."
Bro.
Gandhi kept insisting that these acts were important for him to get an idea about his strengths and weaknesses. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and remember...
What you mean your strengths and weaknesses? What type of freak-ass nigga? Hey, that's not my goat no more. Real talk, that's not my goat no more. I thought he was gonna be eating ass and I didn't want him to be my goat. That nigga was doing something worse, way worse. That's not my goat. Fuck Gandhi. Tight shit.